everybody knows, New York is an extraordinary city. After all, they don't call this the Big Apple for nothing. To be short, it is a city of hotels, hundreds of them that cater to virtually every taste and pocketbook. And many of them have been around here for decades. But now there is a new one on the scene that is attracting an awful lot of attention and doing big business. And it may surprise you because the hotel is located at the very foot of Manhattan in Battery Park. But to those in the know, that is one of the hotel's big advantages. It is the Embassy Suites Hotel of New York, which is the flagship of the Embassy Suites hotel chain. And it is unique in many, many ways. And we learned about it from the hotel's general manager, Michael McGilligan.
This is a fabulous area of the city. Lower Manhattan is a great destination in the city of New York. It's very residential, but at the same time, we're across the street from the World Financial Center. So it's very convenient to Tribeca and Soho, or within walking distance to the ferry for the Statue of Liberty. But you can also hop in a taxi and be in Midtown in 5 minutes. So the location is ideal, whether you're a business traveler or a leisure traveler.
You know, it's pretty obvious looking around this area that New York is coming back.
For sure. They are back. In March of this year, when the economy rebounded for everybody, the hotel business and the tourism in general picked up for New York City. And business people are traveling again, meetings are being held, and tourists are back in full force. The best it's been really since September 11th.
Mike, who does this hotel appeal to? As I understand it, you have two distinct groups that really come here. Am I right?
We sure do. It's really schizophrenic in a way. During the week, it really caters to business travelers. We're right across the street from the World Financial Center. We're an easy walk to Wall Street. So anybody who's doing business in Lower Manhattan, this is a fabulous location. Then on the weekend, we change completely, and tourists from all over the country fly in, drive in. They come down to see the Statue of Liberty, they come to see Ground Zero, they come to go to shows, and we take on a whole new persona on the weekends than we do during the week. So it's really fabulous to be busy constantly. This hotel is incredibly well positioned, both geographically and from a business standpoint, to be very successful. The team here is fantastic. The folks that work here are amazing. Very resilient to come back after September 11th, to work through the blackout, the number of things that we've gotten through down here in Lower Manhattan. We've been successful, and that just makes me think that we're going to be even more successful once the economy continues to rebound and we continue to do well and things continue to prosper down here with all this new development that's going on in Lower Manhattan.
Mike, let's talk a little bit about the physical aspects of this hotel. I mean, not only do you have these extraordinary views that very few other hotels in New York can match, but the design of this facility, it really is unique.
Unique's a great word. It's unique in general, but it's really unique for New York City. I don't think there's another building in the city with this type of vaulted glass ceiling atrium setup, all of this contemporary artwork, and this design, which is also modern, contemporary. That's what they were going for, and they accomplished it. They had a world-famous designer, Alexandre Champollion, who designed the hotel and placed the artwork. Hilton Hotels Corporation, Forest City Ratner Companies, who developed the hotel, still owner of the hotel, and the Public Art Fund got together and decided that they would try to create a cultural area in Lower Manhattan. And while they were at it, they were going to put this huge mixed-use retail, entertainment complex, hotel, and that's what they did. They put everything in one spot. It's an entertainment complex, it's a hotel, there's museum-quality artwork all over the hotel, murals, mosaics, originals, hand-signed prints. It's really very unique in its architectural design and in the interior design.
What is this that we're overlooking right now? What do you call this?
It's called Loopy Doopy Blue and Purple, and it's by Soloet, famous American artist. And it is one of the largest murals in New York City, and it's one of the largest mosaics in the world. This is the atrium of the hotel. It's a great setup for just sitting down in the middle of the day and getting some work done or relaxing with the family. And it's also where we have banquet functions once in a while. We can just close it off and put a wedding in here, or a dinner party, or a fundraising event. So this is the atrium of the hotel, and you can see all the natural light. It's really just a unique space for New York City.
As the hotel manager, Michael McGilligan, pointed out to us, this Sol LeWitt drawing behind me, which overlooks the atrium and which is known as Loopy Doopy, is one of the most dramatic and spectacular pieces of art in the hotel, and also one of the most unusual in the entire city. Consider this. It measures 80 feet wide by 100 feet tall. It soars 13 stories above this atrium, transforming this area into a swirling aquarium of twisting color. It took 3,000 hours to create, requiring 100 gallons of paint, and it was fabricated over 4 months' time in a 20,000 square foot studio at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. It involved over 50 people.
Embassy Suites is really a unique and wonderful concept. It's funny that it's really relatively young. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary as a brand this year. But the concept is such that, first of all, you get a suite. Everybody gets a suite, not just the VIPs. Everybody's a VIP. So here in New York, you're getting a room that's 450 to 800 square feet, just almost as large as some New York apartments, really. And so the space appeals to the leisure travelers and the business travelers. Breakfast every day, full breakfast, cooked to order omelets and things like that, every single day for everybody in your room, free, complimentary. And then from 5:30 to 7:30 every night, you get cocktails, cocktail receptions, some light snacks and things like that. And it's the value is just built into to the brand, and that's at every Embassy Suites in the country. In New York, it happens to be a little bit greater appeal because of the high cost of some of those things.
What about the advantages of the hotel being located right here in Battery Park?
Battery Park is an interesting area. Basically built about 40 years ago. The land that we are on is landfill from the original World Trade Center site. So what they did was just take all the land, smooth it out over here just a couple of blocks away, and basically expand Lower Manhattan and create Battery Park. And what we have is an area that's very residential. There's plenty of restaurants. There's plenty of things to do. The World Financial Center, also part of Battery Park, so 4 huge office buildings, malls, shopping. They really laid it out well. They had an opportunity really to take a part of New York that was completely undeveloped and just pick what they wanted to put here. After the city that's been here for all these years, to have that opportunity, I think, is something that's fabulous, and they've really taken advantage of it and done a great job with it. And given us the opportunity to be a part of that.
And how close are you to all the other major attractions in the city of New York?
We're incredibly close. You can get in a taxi or take a bus or take a subway in about 5 or 10 minutes to any attraction in the city. We are right on West Street here, which is a straight shot right into Midtown. And that's the part about Battery Park, like you mentioned, that most people don't know about. That it's down here and it's away from the hustle and bustle, but it's very convenient to all those locations because it's set apart on the side here.
Now, we're in one of the hotel's executive suites. What does an executive suite offer that the other suites normally don't?
The executive suites are slightly larger. There's a fax machine in every executive suite. There's an upgraded stereo system in all the executive suites. And we have VCRs in the executive suites. So you get more space, about 800 square feet. You get a conference table. You get some business amenities and the great decor that is in the executive suites here. Great views.
How close is the Embassy Suites to Ground Zero?
We are right across the street from Ground Zero. Ground Zero is at the corner of VC and West Street, and we are across the street.
And what about the events of 9/11? Was the hotel damaged?
We were very fortunate to not be damaged. We had a lot of cleanup. The hotel was closed for 7 months just because the area was in obvious disarray, and we had a lot of cleanup to do. But the hotel was here. The rescue workers stayed here. It was a place for them to stay and sleep and shower and eat while we had food. No deliveries were allowed down here after that. But until we ran out of food, they they were well fed. So it was nice to be here and nice to not be as affected as some of the other office buildings right around here and across the street.
And Mike, how important is the support staff here at the hotel for the well-being of the guests?
It's of the utmost importance. We have a fabulous staff here, and it starts with the bell staff. It starts with the front desk. It starts with housekeeping. I don't have a daily impact on our guests. It's those folks on the front line that are welcoming our guests, are sending them up to their room, cleaning their room, taking good care of them while they're here, and that's the big important thing. It's important to have people like we have here. It's important to have people that came back to work after September 11th, almost 100% of them, right back here after being out of work for 7 months, came back when we reopened and are thrilled to be here. We had the blackout in 2003, and all of our folks from security to engineering to housekeeping, the front desk had kind of been through it before and handled it like pros. It's really great to have a team like we have here.
While the hotel has many special features and attractions, one of the most memorable for the guests is the greeting they get from the hotel's exuberant doorman, Willie Gonzalez. Willie, it is pretty obvious you really love your job, don't you?
Well, I love my job because it's first of all, I love people. I love the camaraderie with the employees in this hotel. It's very family orientated.
I mean, you seem to go overboard in welcoming people.
The only thing I can say about that is that I've always have a great respect with people, and I enjoy them very much. And all the jobs that I've done in my career, I've always worked with people, and I love them very much.
You know, your job description says you are a hotel doorman, but you have another name for it, don't you?
I call it the ambassador. I'm a greeter. So that's the title I kind of gave myself, an ambassador, because that's what an ambassador does. You know, you meet and greet people and try to make them feel as comfortable as possible.
We have 13,000 square feet of flexible meeting and banquet space, 10 meeting rooms, state-of-the-art facilities. They're available for conferences, they're available for meetings, they're available for fundraising events, weddings. It's just a wonderful space for social events and business events, and it's just a great space in Lower Manhattan to hold meetings. This is what we call the Creativity Suite, a novel concept where we have taken a regular suite and redecorated it so that it would stimulate creativity in the minds of our business travelers. We host small meetings near things like that, and we have everything in here from an iMac. We have a Bose system, flat screen plasma TVs. The bathroom walls can be written on. There are chalkboards all over the room that can be written on. And basically, it's just a crazy way to stay in New York City. It's unbelievable, really, the different things in the room that just bring out the creativity in people. And it's a prototype that we are actually experimenting with here in Chicago and in Los Angeles.
What's the concept behind it?
The concept was basically trying to find a new way to stay in a hotel, a new way to have small meetings, a new way to get people to express themselves. And we thought that the best way to do that would be to transform a room into a type of playroom almost, where you can not just have a TV and a bed and a shower, but where you can think outside the box, read some books. There are different books and CDs for the Bose system here that you can play, and they're just all outside the box things that just try to stimulate the brain to come up with new ideas about business or whatever you're in town for.
And what has the reaction been to this room, to those who stayed here?
It's been unbelievable. It's been very positive. I mean, people are amazed when they get into the room. They've never stayed. That you don't have these things in your house typically, and you certainly never see them in a hotel room. You don't have a massage chair. You don't have two 42-inch plasma screens. You don't have all the things that are in this room that just make it just wonderful. This is a self-contained entertainment complex. The hotel is the anchor of that entertainment complex. We have 5 restaurants. We have a New York sports club. We have the 11-screen Regal Entertainment movie theater. So you can come down here and the residents can enjoy this complex. our guests on a rainy day can enjoy the artwork, the restaurants, a movie, and we can exist down here really by ourselves, or you can just come stay here and go out in town and go see the Statue of Liberty and do all the other things you want to do in New York City. It gives us a versatility that is really fantastic.
It's interesting. This hotel has been labeled a destination hotel. What does that really mean?
It's a destination because you can come here to the hotel, stay in this area, whether for business or pleasure, and not have to leave. You don't have to go anywhere once you're here. It's like a destination. We have restaurants here. We have artwork in the building. We have the movie theater in the building. You don't have to leave. It is a destination. There's the Irish Hunger Memorial across the street. There's the new Freedom Tower going up across the street. So it's really a place where you can come and not have to go anywhere else. You can if you want to, but it's a type of place where you come and you don't have to feel like you need to go someplace else in order to have fun. You can have all your fun right here.
You know, I can't help but gather that I think you really do love your job. Am I right?
I do. I love it. It's a great job. It's great to meet people every day and be a home away from home for everybody that comes to the greatest city in the world.
Now just 4 years old, which for all intents and purposes is like being brand new for a hotel in New York, it is easy to see why the Embassy Suites Hotel of New York, at this very young age, has already earned the distinction of being labeled as a true destination hotel. And in the hotel industry, that is as good as it gets. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting from New York.
Thank you for joining us on this special edition of Close Up on America's Business.